Okay, I just finished transferring an image onto this booklet. These booklets are zine format folded, and they're 9 by 12 pages of something that Amazon calls drawing paper. In fact, I bought these several years ago, and I don't happen to have the buff colored one handy, I think. Let's see. Not handy. Anyway, it comes in two tones, white, perfectly white, and then a buff colored, which I like a lot, really. It's makes a very nice booklet. Now these are the buff colored one. You get 500 sheets of this paper, 9 by 12, for 3 cents a piece. The white, for some reason, is 5 cents a piece. But I have a supply of 500 of each of these, and they make perfectly sized zines that are 4.5 inches this way and 3 inches this way, and that is a really nice size for a zine. Usually I have it folded in such a way that this is the first page. I don't know why. I must have started this one upside down because I like the first page to be a side folding pocket. But in this case, I must have started wrong, and nothing is wrong. It's just different. And this has the front loading pocket. And all I have to do is glue the bottom, and I may stick something in here, like writing paper or notes or whatever. But these are handy to take traveling with you. If you make up a whole bunch of these, just fold them and then use the corner rounder to clip the corners and just take them with you. They don't take much room, and you can actually combine them so you have several of them. So it'd be great for a little diary. It'd be great for a journal, for a trip. But what I'm going to show you today is something I've just recently learned. For a while now, this is a backing paper for the sticker paper that I use. And if I post this to YouTube, and I might, usually I do, but not always. But I will, if I do post it, I will put some links below the video to show where I got most of this stuff. But anyway, if you make these little up, and you have a corner rounder, you use, and everybody on earth has a tutorial on how to fold these. But they literally are, I'll just open this up and show you since I don't have it glued, one sheet. As it turns out, let's see, I have some sticky stuff here. Yeah, one sheet of paper, in this case 9 by 12. And of course you fold it, first of all you fold it vertically, then you fold it sideways, and then you bring the sides up to the middle and fold it that way, and then you cut down to that point there, and then you fold it and you got a booklet. I won't belabor this because, as I said, there's many tutorials on the internet on this. But once you do this and you have a whole bunch of these, it's really fun to fill them. It's just very, very much fun. And one of the things that I have been really loving to do are printing out on, and this is a whole sheet of sticker paper, and this is from, and I'll put the nomenclature of that below also if I post this on internet, but these are one sheet labels, and I cut them, once I print them, and I print them on an inkjet printer, see, and they do beautifully. It's an Epson tank ET some number, 36 something, which I'm not sure they make that number anymore, but they have a lot of Echo tank printers, and the ink does really well. I'll show you in a minute. Well, two things I've been doing is trying to find interesting architecture, and I just love making a booklet of these. But and I've had done these for a while. Now, like I said, this is usually what I print, and I have some small books that I've printed these on. But then I thought, well, what if I use a little watercolor to paint them. And I think this is the first one I did. And yes, I did turn out to like that a lot. And all I did was use a water pen and my little collection of watercolors. So I did this first one, and then after I got looking at it, I thought, oh, that's really nice, but I'd like to use it as a transfer. And I wondered if my watercolor, I thought it would transfer as well. Well, the first one I tried to make is this one down here, and as you can see, it is just great. Now it leaves a little rough texture, like I actually had painted all of this on. And what it does is it gives you a texture that you just won't get with just the plain watercolor. For example, this one I just watercolored, and yes, it has the, you know, the different differentiation of tone, but what this ends up doing is making it look like it has like stucco or something. It just lifts it up in such a lovely, lovely way. And I'm really fond of that, even more than as a sticker. The other thing I could do is put a sticker on here, but it's obviously a sticker. If you touch it, if you feel the edges of it, you know it's a sticker. And just, it isn't near as interesting as this. This is like a work of art, which of course it is, because somebody drew it and I just slapped a little bit of watercolor on it. Now, if you love architecture, and I do, and I think it makes beautiful, I'm going to give you a little tip here. I'm putting my iPad here. Whoops. Hopefully I'm logging in. All right, here I am. And this booklet, which downloads as a PDF, and like I said, if I put this on YouTube, I will put where to find this PDF that downloads, and it's marvelous. If you're lucky enough to have an iPad, and you're lucky enough to own the Procreate app, you'll be happy to know that Procreate will load up a PDF file by pages. You know, a lot. If you know Procreate, you know there's all these layers. It takes every page and makes a layer out of it. For example, let's see, and you can of course even read the text if I click on it. You know, which is a handy thing to have. I'll tell you about that in another story. But if you wanted to clip pieces of architecture, it's easy to do. For example, this is with Procreate, and I'm on this layer. Say I wanted this house up here. I would just click the ribbon tool, and I would choose, let's see, I'll just use the rectangle and draw it a rectangle around here. Click copy paste, it puts it on another page. Then I'll hit the wrench and say share. Say I want to choose PDF, but I could also choose JPEG. So now I have saved that in my gallery. But that's just one way I like to use my iPad. Now when you get to the gallery, you'll see it's a small image on a big page, and I just crop it and then take it into another program on my computer, which I can rearrange all of these small pieces on a 8.5 sheet of clear matte label paper, and then I print them all out, and that's how I get this. So what have I learned? Let me see, let me pause this for a minute. Okay, this is the clamshell that I get my, I guess I did 100. These are like $60, but you can get smaller supplies. You can get 10 or 15 or 20 sheets. You don't have to go for the 100, but I do because I use them so much. And that's the nomenclature of online labels for this particular matte, clear, full sheet labels. Now hold on just a second, I'll show you a few of them. Well, while we're waiting, I will show you that this is one of the this is one of the booklets I made out of the buff colored. I finally found it, and these are all transfers that I've done. I haven't finished this yet. I've just been having some fun with it. This is going to be pockets, so I can put things, several pockets in here and here and here. I mean, this is really fun because this particular pocket has a pocket there, pocket there, pocket there, pocket there, and one there. So if I wanted to fill this up, but you'll see how beautiful the transfer is and how it lifts. And this is actually a transfer, but this is the sticker, I think. I have to stop and think. Maybe not. No, this is a transfer as well. So I transferred the art on just as I'm going to show you now. And this might be one of these, I think, is the actual sticker. Yeah, it might be this one. And then this is a transfer as well. But anyway, I filled up. Oh, this is a sticker for sure. I could almost peel it off if I wanted to, but I'll show you how I do this later. This is something that had printed on it from inkjet. I transferred it someplace. It might have been one of these. And it leaves a residue on the piece, and then I just draw things on that residue, use more watercolor, whatever. So now I have a sticker. So even though I transferred the image, there's enough residue of ink left, and see, you can see it has a bit of a shine to it, not too much. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But look at how pretty the buff colored ones are. They're just beautiful. Anyway, okay, just remember one thing is, if you're going to use text, like I have now these labels, and if you're going to use text to transfer, like if I wanted to take a label here and put a label on top here, or a couple of them, if I transferred these, they would read correctly. I don't think you can tell, but they would read correctly. Let's see if I can. No, I really can't do it, but you get the idea. So if there's any text at all, so what I did is reversed, flip these horizontally, and that gives me the back side. So this is what's left of one sheet that I have used already a couple of times. And as I said, I print up a whole bunch of stuff, and I just can't help myself. And I'm loving the you get a really clean, you can get a real clean, tight transfer, which I have done of some of these, but you'll see how I set them up in my computer. I've already cut that one out, so I can get a lot of things that I can cut out. And this is the backing sheet over here. The label is here, and I could still transfer these little bees, or I could just use them as stickers. So you get quite a bit of use from them, and they're really, really fun to work with. Let's see. Yeah, here's one that shows those ladies that I put on that booklet. And sometimes I will shrink them up and make them smaller, as I did here. This would fit nicely on this booklet, though. This size here is pretty near perfect for almost anything you'd want to do. And then if I still have a sticker, I can also transfer these dots, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you have a lot of fun setting those up, but you really have to have some kind of I use Silhouette Studio's free software to do it for me, and it works well. But you know, Adobe or any other software you have, you can set up a page of 8.5 by 11 to print in whatever sizes you want that will fit your booklet. Okay, but now what I'm going to do is show you a little bit how the watercolor works. I mean, not that you don't know how watercolor works, because you do. And then I will transfer this one. And the reason I'm transferring this one instead of the one I'm going to show you in a minute is that they have to be dry when you're going to transfer them. So I'll just do that really hurriedly. Let's see, I'll squeeze some water onto my neutral palette. I don't know what color these are going to be, and it really won't matter, but just to give you an idea. And for some reason, even though they say that inkjet will smear, it doesn't appear to be in this method. Okay, so I could just get a little bit of red in there, some other colors. I'm not going to do the whole thing, just give you an idea of how rustic we can make this. I try not to go outside the lines, but it's hard for me to do at the moment. But anyway, you get the idea, right? Looks really kind of pretty. Let's see. There we go. And you can have fun doing that. Just have a nice little brush. That's all you have to do. I'm going to let this sit here and dry, and then I'll work on that again later. But to transfer it now, I'm going to show you another thing I do, which is fun. So I will take this page here, and I have somewhere my little sponge. These are makeup sponges. That's all they are. They're high density foam, and they work really well. And what I have is a big, huge bottle, 32 ounces, and I've used so much of this already. Hand sanitizer. It's a gel. And I will use the clean side of this and give myself a nice little dollop, not too much. And then I will take, whoops, yeah, this one I just played with. Now I smeared it. Oh well. I'll take this and rub it along here. These sponges really work the best for me. I've seen people use this method and use other things, but the key is to get it as smooth as you can and as thin as you can, but still wet. However, all is not lost if you don't. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to place it one time down here. And this paper is particularly good. Now I'm going to just gently put my finger to make sure it's no bubbles are in it. However, meanwhile, the hand sanitizer is kind of drying a little bit, and it dries very, very quickly. So sometimes I will just take my thumbnail and just gently go over the image to be sure that it transfers. Now, if you have too much gel on there, it will smear. But you'll find that even that, if it's not perfect, and you're going for the grungy look, and in this case I would. In some cases I don't get it at all. If you put the right amount, see how it's already drying up here? In fact, it has dried. Only up here do I have a little bit. So it dries really quickly. Now, what will happen, because it is drying, it might need a little bit more. And here's the beauty of this. Let's see if I can get closer. Yeah. I lift the corner. Whoops, as soon as I can find a corner. And look, it's not transferring completely. And what you want to do is look over here. If you look over here and you see some left that's not transferring, not a problem. I just take my little sponge, which still has some stuff on it, and dab it. And if it doesn't have enough, I just add a little bit more. Let me put a tiny bit more on here, just to have it. Okay, now I've pushed that down, and I will burnish it with my fingernail. The fingernail does work really well. Let's see. See, now there's hardly anything left except the ghost. The ghost. Oh, I'm sorry I'm shaking the camera, but can't be helped. I'll try it real hard. Now let's just see. And you'll know that it picks up the, look at how nice that went, just for my fingernail going over it. And it picks up the watercolor really well. Now let's see what this side is doing. nothing there. And like I said, look how beautiful that is. A little bit down here. So what I could do is just take a little bit of this and dab it off just a little bit. Say I wanted that little corner, I just place it back down. And we'll give it a second or two. Let's look and see how the top is going. And there it is. Look how beautiful it's transferring. Oh, I love this. This is one of my favorite things to do. Looks like I spent a lot of time getting that gorgeous image. Now this is the sticker. It's now going to dry. And like I said, I could take my little pen, and when this is dry, replicate the same image I want, and then it could be a sticker. Or I could paint over it entirely, as I've done sometimes. Let me see if I can show you some. Sometimes I have bits and pieces left, and I watercolor them. And this is a sticker, for example. I can just use anything I want. Many of these down here were also stickers that I had used for transfer what was left. Sometimes I'd just scribble on them, but now they're stickers. I can use them for whatever. But anyway, this is the ghost that's left. I can try to replicate the design using tools like watercolor, and I found that these Sharpie pens work great. A regular tip and a very, very fine tip here, which is super good. But you have to wait till it dries, because ink does not like alcohol. Well, I say it doesn't, but the alcohol in the hand sanitizer does enable all of this to transfer. And look at that. Now, you could transfer the black and white image, then color it, but I wanted to see if I could do both. Transfer the whole thing and get that same kind of look. And there it is. That's page 2, page 1, page 2, and I'll do the other 2 pages or all of them this way. So that's it.